Alright, and welcome to me adjudicating your entries for the VectorLikeCK competition. We had over 43 submissions, which I think is a fantastic result, especially considering sitting down and creating vector art is quite a strenuous process. Without further ado, it's going to be a bit of a longer video. I'm going to go through all of the submissions, provide a little bit of feedback. Let's get stuck in and have a look at some of the submissions. Alright, so coming into number one, we've got Abdullah Photography. Quite a nice, well-edited photo. I mean, I like the blues, I like the oranges. I mean, this has actually been done really well. He's used bigger shapes for the stonework and then smaller shapes for the details in the clothing. He's vectorized absolutely everything, except what seems to be this brickwork. He's just left that out. He's like, nah, fuck that. That's way too complicated. And there's still ways to go around this without having to do all the brickwork. And considering it's the only part of the photo that isn't vector, I'd probably lean towards finding a way to just make that vector so that at least the whole image is vectorized. But yes, great submission, Abdullah. Thank you for participating. Alex23M, he's vectorized a photo of his cat. Again, really nicely edited. I like the tones that you've done, and they've carried through quite nicely in the vector art. And wow, look at this. Very detailed. It's not easy to kind of imitate fur. If you were to connect some of the anchor points, I feel like it's a little bit all over the place. I mean, that also creates a vibe in itself, and if that's the style you're going for, well done. I really like how he's used depth to create some background. That's exactly what I wanted to see with the tutorial that I recently posted. It's really nice to actually see someone go there, learn that, and apply it to their submissions. Alyssa, she hasn't sent through a photo. Having a look at her vector, it has been done nicely. I personally wouldn't use a gradient for the background, considering majority of the artwork's actually just flat colors. It doesn't create as much unity. It still looks really nice. But yeah, it's just some of those little things that I like to think about. What's a nice way to create a good relationship with the background and with the subject? All right, so Angeline has submitted 3 artworks for this competition. This is the first photo. We've got the second one here, and the third one is a bit more of a nature shot. Background is quite simplistic. I mean, you've used some reasonably large shapes, but then coming and looking in at the face, you've used a lot of small shapes. Looks like you've missed out on filling some background here, so just keep an eye out for that. I mean, I feel like when you're zooming out, it's kind of almost hard to tell that the face is vectorized because the background is a lot more chunkier. I presume, yeah, you've left the background out, so that's just the photo. It seems like what you've used is a lot of round shapes. They don't all connect up and kind of flow. It's kind of like an abstract painting. The third and final one, you've gone with a faceless portrait. You've obviously left out all of that greenery and vegetation on the background. Fair enough. I don't blame you at all. I definitely wouldn't be doing that. It's cool to see you putting your own kind of style and twist on your vector art. If I were to say my favorite, I'd probably have to say this faceless portrait right here. And Anurag Karpe. Some interesting names. I'm sorry if I mispronounce some of your names. Please don't hate me. Seems like the highlights are a little bit overexposed, but that's okay. Background, bigger shapes, subject, smaller shapes, and it really creates a nice contrast. I wonder what it would have looked like if you added a little bit of Gaussian blur to the background itself. Maybe would have helped to actually separate the two. Right now they seem quite connected. So Arvin hasn't sent a image for this competition, even though that was the fucking job. Send me an image and send me the vector so I can compare both, but that's okay. The raindrops are on the window, they're out of focus, and I presume the car would also be out of focus. I mean, I'd be curious if it was actually out of focus if you shared the actual photo. Honestly, I would never pick a photo that's got water in it. It would probably create too much of a hassle. He's actually done a really good job. The way that you have done the water, it seems like it would have taken a very long time, and then you've added a little bit of a blur to it. My favorite part of this probably has to be the background. I mean, you could probably take the goggles out and that would be a pretty sick wallpaper. Bafana Trevor, or is it Trevor Bafana? I mean, Trevor makes more sense as a first name, but we won't go there. Looks like you've actually used some other form of medium to create this. Hey, that's okay. Probably won't be able to consider it for the competition, but I do like your attempt at creating something from a photograph into then your own artwork. Ooh, now I like this one. Bridget, she's vectorized the background and then added a Gaussian blur. Vector is usually a 2D software. It's flat design mainly, unless you're using gradients. Now we're starting to learn how to actually create a bit of depth and replicate what comes out of your camera. The colors are popping. And then obviously, yeah, the details, the creases in the top and that kind of stuff, even the polka dots, like it's been done really, really well. Cameron Bills has submitted 2 different artworks, both of which I find very interesting. The first one seems to be a combination of 2 nature photography shots. He's combined them and flipped them, adding in a subject that he's completely made up. I mean, that's not even the same subject as this one. A+ for creativity. I really do like how you've done this. It's very kind of jagged. The anchor points don't really match up, but it's consistent through the whole artwork, which I really like. Now you've completely switched it up. You've gone with a more abstract style. It's very geometric and linear, and you've kind of made it a lot more minimalistic and simplistic. You're keeping a thought on how can I make this into a creative design, save me some hassle, but also make it look just as good at the same time. Only thing I would suggest is leave out these strokes. I don't need a bean here. There's no other strokes throughout this other than maybe the windows here. I just don't think those lines up there need that stroke, in my opinion. That's just my fucking opinion, right? It doesn't really matter to you, does it? Chandrakant, awesome. I mean, it's pretty simple. The bird does have more detail than the background, and the way that you've done the shapes and line work is obviously consistent. I feel like if you maybe put in a bit more time, you definitely would have had a better result, especially with like the ledge that it's sitting on and that kind of stuff. But I mean, not everyone has heaps of time at the moment to go and invest. Here we go. How do you say this one? Cinquartz. I'm not even gonna try. Clearly you didn't try either because you didn't send me a photograph. The rock that you're standing on, how can it be possibly out of focus if you're in focus? It literally looks like you're standing on nothing because it's all blurry. I just keep an eye on like, okay, so this is like a brown, that's like a soft brown, then you got a purple, I mean it's green up here. It looks like you got camo on your arm. Those are the things that really bring a vector art together, like color choice. Other than that, I mean just a bit of positive feedback. I do really like it, and that is that. Cinquartz or Cinquartz. Craig Butland. Okay, I can say that. Butland. Greg Butland. We've done this style before. Someone wearing obviously clothes. You'd fucking hope so. And he's actually put a lot of detail in this top. I mean, I don't know how necessary these smaller shapes are. It seems like the color's actually pretty consistent. You could easily get away with using bigger shapes here to save yourself a bit of time. And that's just the choice that you guys need to make as designers is what can I get away with in terms of shape size? Am I wasting my time by making it too detailed? Doesn't need to be detailed here. So just keep asking yourself those questions when you are sitting down and attempting to make vector art. All right, Karoom FX, another submission that hasn't sent a photo. He's gone with a bit more of a, seems like he's using a Wacom for this because you can see how like maybe the pencil tool that he's using and then he's kind of going up and down to create those jagged lines. That would have definitely helped for the hair. Yeah, I definitely think he has a Wacom. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections below. It's good. I'm going to be honest, probably not good enough. That is really mean to say of me, but it's kind of true. It is clean in its own sense. The shadows and the highlights have been done really well. I feel like you have actually watched some of my tutorials and I'm taking note from that. The Donovan. Speaking about shit photos. Nah, I can't say that. That's mean. However, Donovan, you are a cheeky little, I can't say that either. You love your lens balls, don't you, Donovan? I mean, your lens ball. I presume you only have one. Just, again, consider how big do my shapes need to be? Like, I mean, I presume your hands, your fingers aren't that blotchy. See over here? They're not. Like, I would probably just, there you go. That's one big shape. But I feel like that would look a lot cleaner than maybe like 9 or 10 shapes that you've used to make that one kind of similar color. But I hope that's some good advice for you to take on for next time. We definitely need to jump on a house party soon, don't we? No, we fucking miss you, man. All right, so both of these submissions come from Flynn. Thank you very much, Flynn. He's gone and attempted that kind of artwork that Liam and I actually made quite a while ago now. Maybe a blur with these instead of just lines. Oh, it seems like you've added a bit on the end there, but then the majority of it is just line work. Yeah, it's such a minuscule amount. Add more of that to like the whole thing, just to really create that movement. No, the tram has been done really nicely. Oh, she. I mean, you don't need to add strokes there. They just don't need to be there. You can just take them away. That is a lot of detail though. Why so much detail here? And then you've gone and just literally used like a huge shape on the tram. Like, where's the balance there? You know what I mean? But that's okay. Still looks really nice. And for your other submission, I mean, this is a lot cleaner. I do like the edit and it shows through the colors of the vector. Again, I don't think you need the strokes here. That's just my advice. It's a nice sense of depth. My eyes leading exactly to that subject. Thank you for submitting 2 as well, not just 1. So absolute legend. Moving on to Grishmanth. It's enough. Interesting photo. I mean, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like it. Like, what's the subject? The fucking speaker. Yeah, maybe it would be better if you were the subject. You're out of focus. You tried. It's good. You also need to clean that. That's minging. Yeah. Bro, look at this speaker. What do you mean? I don't want to talk shit, but that's pretty dirty. Yeah, but the vector art's clean. We'll keep focusing on this.
It's minging.
Oh, what do you mean? It is minging. Would you lick that? Would you lick that? Would you lick that, Liam?
No, I would not put my fucking finger 10 feet next to that.
Other than having a laugh. Yeah, the vector art is nice. As I said, I think it would have been better if you were in focus, not the actual speaker. No one wants to see a speaker. It does seem like you put a lot of effort into it, especially with this background, just to then go make it blurry. So I know the feels of vectorizing something detailed, then to just make it blurry, kind of feels bad, man. Hey, it's Holly's Photography. Holly's a close friend of mine. She's just recently kind of picked up vector art. She is actually a photographer. First one seems like a lot more of a cleaner photo. It's simple, which I like. And then she's conveyed that really nicely in the vector art. She hasn't vectorized that pole though, but she's vectorized everything else. If you're not going to vectorize the subject, maybe vectorize everything else, including this pole. That would just be my advice. Yeah, you've really gone and added heaps of detail into this. Let's have a look into where. Doesn't seem like you've done the brickwork. Just go and finish it. Just finish that. Spend the extra half an hour and just get it done. I presume you were in a rush as well. I think I saw you tag me in a story. You were cramming it in. You did an all-nighter or some shit. Definitely up there with, again, one of the contenders for my top 9. Janos. Thanos. No. Looking like a boss. You're like, don't fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck your... Oh my god. Nah, this guy's definitely fucking your... Yeah, let's add a bit more shadows, a bit more highlights. You can see on your face here, this left side is more highlighted than this right side. It doesn't seem like you've gone to too much effort to try and convey that, and as a result it looks a bit flat. I mean, there's absolutely no detail in your hair. It just looks like a turd, no offense. Yeah, I get you guys to submit artwork and then I just shit on it. I'm sorry. You know what, I'm gonna be honest. I can't just say, hey, good job, well done. Deep down, Janos, you know this could do with a little bit more detail. I mean, look at your hair over here. That's okay. I mean, again, I know people got other shit to do, better shit to do than fucking just click away. However, I'm very appreciative that you submitted an entry to this competition. Jenna is a very active member in our Discord. She's gone ahead and attempted to vectorize something that I would just never ever do. Honestly, I would never take a long exposure and then try and vectorize the movement. However, Jenna has. Oh, I love you, Jenna, but it looks fucked. I mean, how else are you meant to vectorize prolonged movement on a bus? Like, there's shit going everywhere. Like, all of this green, there's just light fragments. Hard choice. Why don't you just pick a photo of your dog? I know you love your dogs. I really do like how you've used the gradients and you've noticed that the color changes from a lighter green to a darker green. So you've thought, okay, well, let's attempt at using a gradient. Like, I see this kind of stuff as well, which is great. That thought process, that problem solving is really important as a graphic designer. We can definitely take that away from this artwork. Gente Van Neville. Again, water. I just wouldn't go there. And this has got fucking splishy splashies and the waves, and I just wouldn't do it. But you have, and I can tell why. There's a really nice subject at the top third of the image. You've decided to then go and add some typography to that kind of negative space at the top. It's innovative thinking. That's what I really like to see. Added Gaussian blur to here, but then it seems to kind of get a bit more in focus here. I don't know whether that's just because it's a big shape. I reckon this third here, most out of focus, least out of focus here, and then completely in focus like you've done. The fact that there are bigger shapes in the background compared to the waves just creates a really nice contrast. That's probably too detailed in there, not gonna lie. I'd probably keep it more what's on this left side. I'm just picking out little things, honestly, because I really want you guys to get better. Then I want you to keep thinking or keep these things in mind, the feedback in which I'm giving you. Kathnik, hey, all right, here we go. Another one of those styles where you vectorize the clothing and you're just staring out the window like, what am I gonna do today? It is a bit messy, not gonna lie. I mean, I can kind of see like that's not vector. You missed something there, and these lines kind of just cut off. I just go ahead and just clean things up like around there and, you know, that kind of stuff. However, there's other things such as like the stitching, which you've gone and attempted with that line work panel. I mean, not everyone knows about that, and you clearly have gone and tried to do that. Keanu Raz. All right, you vectorized your t-shirt. Another one one of those ones, and then you've tried to go and add a drippy effect. You've left some of the t-shirt below it. What I would do personally, maybe you don't have this skill set at the moment, but I would go and crop out this photograph of your t-shirt so it looks like your t-shirt's literally just dripping down. But other than that, the way you've done your shading and that kind of stuff is nice. Just a bit of feedback. Oh, I wonder what this one's gonna be. We got an Audi R8, which we love. Someone give Mike a call for that. So he's gone and added like a tear effect, as if you're kind of ripping the photo off, and then behind it you've got the vector art. Creative idea. Instead of vectorizing the planes, you've gone and made that line art. It seems like you've left the wheels out, but you've done the body of the R8. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, and because you've done it quite cleanly, it looks absolutely fine. Brownie points for this nice creative effect here. You know, I didn't teach you or tell you to do that. That's completely off your own bat, and I like to see that initiative. Mayan is also someone who is very active in the Discord. I'll leave the link in the description. Awesome work, first of all, for using the stroke panel to create this kind of line work here. I feel like there definitely needs to be a bit more shadows over here on your leg. It just seems to be one color. I know that you've used fade on the image. However, look, where your creasing is, like here, it needs to be way darker than where your knee is or where the light's showing. However, the top has been done really nice. And I also really like the hat too. Nice job, Maya. Oh my God, I'm not gonna even try pronounce that. I like to do this kind of style because it's very minimal, it's very abstract. I probably would have stuck to 2 lines. So maybe the one line going down and then the one line going across. That would just help in making it more abstract. Are you guys fucking kidding me? Look at this name. Maghizwan. Oh, he's made it like a banner. It looks like a kind of advertisement. Positivity. Maybe it's a tea shop. There you go. It's not too detailed once you zoom in, but when you zoom out, it's really cohesive. So I like that. The only thing that stands out that isn't united with the whole artwork is this writing here. Yeah, it just looks like that's just been slapped on. Here we go. Mitchell, Inga. Awesome. I like this shot. You got a reflection. The tones are really nice in the edit and they carry over to the vector. I would be very questionable as to whether you vectorized all of this. It looks like live trace. Yeah, it looks like live trace. Looks like live trace. Should we test it out? It looks like high fidelity. Don't be live trace. Don't let me call you out in front of everyone. No one likes a live tracer. Okay, it's not high fidelity, but is it low fidelity? Oh, it's fucking live trace. Look at that. Like maybe his is a bit more high res, but look at that. Okay, we'll look at these highlights here. Look at these highlights here. Come on, mate. Okay, leave it in the comment section below. What is the penalty for someone submitting a live traced image? Because it's cheating. It's not your artwork. It's the computer just digitizing it, all right? You are definitely not in the running, Mitchell, Inga. Holy shit. It's not fair, okay? Naomi is a graphic designer. She works in the industry. She's really good at using these softwares. This is a really good artwork. The way that she's done a lot of the detail in the hair, the flowers, and then she's gone and used bigger shapes for the arms, even like the feathers on the bird, the glowing eyes of the raven. I mean, look at those eyes. I can't wait to see where the votes are gonna go to, maybe. I mean, who knows? There's still a lot of entries to go, but this is definitely going to have to be in my top 9. Very well done, Naomi. The color palette is just fucking unreal too. If you wondered why I speak so quickly, it's because of EHP Lab Pride. Use my discount code, #ZAC10 for now. Neil, here we go. Perfect example of, is it too detailed? Holy shit, Neil, what the fuck, man, honestly. Gone ahead and done an extremely detailed low poly vector art. A lot of it's diamonds. You've got some triangles in here. Man, what the fuck? The ear alone probably took like 2-3 hours. Let me know in the comment section below how long this took you. Got its own style, like it looks almost like it's watercolor, like a very pastel kind of medium. But I just don't think it's necessary to go this detailed, unless you really want to. Like, look at those little fucking things in there. Like, just make that one shape, bro. That one big shape takes up all of these little shapes. Probably about 20 or 30 shapes in there. You can just use a big color there. No one's gonna hate on you for doing that. Look at that. It's literally pixels at this point. Well done for putting in that much time. Like, I should just make you the winner for having the most amount of patience, to be honest. Another tough name, Omkar Pandhahare. Yeah, we're nailing them. Kind of like a ninja Omni. The symmetry in the background, it's reflected. So what I would have done is I would have just vectorized one side, copied it, and just flipped it. And because, I mean, it's so symmetrical, the photo, that would have looked great in the vector. This line work can just go. The stroke weights are all different. I mean, this is going from really thin and then it just hits like another line. It's nice. It's creative. You've obviously really wanted to participate in this competition and you've given it a crack. I don't know if this is your first time using Adobe Illustrator, so I don't want to be too harsh. I like it. Patrick Andrada, here we go. This is actually nice. The size of the shapes is clean. The line work isn't too bad. You've clearly used some thicker lines for the outside and then it gets thinner on the inside. You've listened to my advice, which is awesome to hear actually. And then wow, I mean, the creasing in the shirt didn't look easy because you've done this line work initially. I presume you did it first. It would have helped you to create a lot of the shading and that kind of stuff. Prajwal Chimurkar, you've got a portrait, which you've done well. The skin tones look a bit different. It just seems like it's a bit of a lighter image. And then the way you've done this hair is immaculate actually. To the second photo, it tells a nice story. The way that you've used Gaussian blur to create depth in the foreground and then in the background, it makes it look like a really nice image. It seems like you've used some gradients as well to kind of accentuate those highlights. I'd have to say this is probably up there with one of my top 9 at the moment, so really well done. I mean, not to mention how much time and effort she would have spent making this ground and the background as well. Puzzling fellow. This is puzzling, isn't it? I mean, he's got this. He's noticed that it's quite grainy. I don't know if you added that or if it's just your ISO, but then he's turned it into something that's really unique. This doesn't look like vector art, but it also does. This looks like watercolor paint. I can't tell. However, I do like how it's abstract. You've done well to convert this photo, very simplistic, to that. Just goes to show that you can really create anything. This is just a basis for your creativity. Radiant Pixels has come to me with a nice landscape shot. Seems like a really cool location though. I don't think you need this many small shapes for the road. I mean, you could get away with bigger stuff and then just use some smaller stuff for the snow. That would probably make it look a bit better. I mean, it's a simple photo, but it does make for a simple vector. Raymond has submitted 2 artworks, but they are not to do with Adobe Illustrator. He's actually made them on Procreate. Apparently this is his son. Really cool. He's taken out bits and pieces and kind of turned him into a cyborg. Amazing artwork, honestly, but it's not Adobe Illustrator because that is not what we're doing. VectorLikeCK. This ain't a vector, mate. Ruben. All right, if you don't remember Ruben, he actually won one of the first competitions that we did, Vector with CK, I think it was called. He made Deadpool, a photo of him having a good time at the snow, happy days. The snow makes for good bokeh, which is great, and you've definitely gone and added that. You've added different levels of bokeh, which is good as well. Lots of detail in this one. Good job. Rishi P coming to me with a fucking weird photo, got a box on his head, man. What the fuck? He's made use of having no background to then turn it into something cool. I mean, look at the fucking tape on the makeshift. He's actually gone and chucked that in too. Sayatan has gone and submitted a reasonably detailed artwork. Yeah, I actually like this. It's low poly, probably most similar to the style that I've been doing. He's added a lot more detail where there kind of needs to be in the shadows. I can see that what you're trying to do there. Only thing I would say is add a background to this one. Give it something, some form of color. At the moment, it just looks like it's a bit unfinished. Shimri Shiam, lovely colors in this photograph, and that carries over into the vector art. As we can see, some nice oranges. This is a low poly vector art style. I can see that you've put detail in areas that require it a bit more. Maybe kind of like detach the line work from the colors in some areas so it doesn't just look like a complete outline. But I also like, yeah, how you've done the background too. Soba Sanders, obviously it's not his photo that he's taken, so I can't put it into the competition. It tells a really nice story. I really like the message in this one, although it can't be a part of the competition because it's not your photo. I still wanted to keep it in and just say it's very creative. I really do like the message. Visuals by CJK. This guy, his name's Chris. We actually hung out with him whilst we were spending some time in Noosa, and this was a beach that we didn't actually get to go to, unfortunately, because fuck me, look at that photo. He's used some bigger shapes, which, look, I don't mind. I think Chris, because these shapes are so big, what you should do is just lead these shapes into other shapes. So instead of this one just cutting across like that, have it kind of flowing. So maybe this one kind of like maybe moves and then flows into that one like that. And then like kind of same thing with over here, just so it's a bit more flowy. I mean, it is water and the shapes could kind of have a bit more unity like that. I know you don't use Adobe Illustrator that much, and good job for just giving it a crack, bro. And for the final submission, we've got Yellow Jacket. Again, another cat. Fucking you guys love your cats, don't you? Look, it's not bad. It's just messy. Look, there's nothing wrong with trying to connect your anchor points, and if you don't want to, it means either you're going for that style, which is fine, or you're just a bit lazy. It looks like a mosaic artwork. It's a style. There's no right or wrongs in creativity. Maybe a bit more colors in the eyes. It looks just a bit flat there, but not gonna say it's the top 9, but I am gonna say thank you for giving it a crack. And that is all of them, guys. I mean, it's a hard decision decision, but I would have to say that these artworks are my top 9, and I'm going to be putting them on Instagram for you guys to vote for your favorite one or maybe 2. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, I'm going to be tallying up the votes and we're going to pick our 5 winners for this competition. You all did a really good job trying to make vector art, whether it be for the first time or for the 100th time. All that matters is you're getting involved, you're giving it a crack, and stay tuned for the next video where I will be announcing the winners for this competition. With that all said and done, guys, if you want to help me out, you can hit subscribe. If you want to join the Discord, there's a link down below, or you can support me in other ways. I'll put my website link there. There's plenty of items that you can purchase from there as well. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.